wouldn't be right if I didn't forget at least one thing. It's either forget to turn the clicker on, forget to put the earpiece on my ear. It's always something. Good morning. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this a little bit later too, but this talk is on peace. And what does the universe do when you start thinking about something and talking about something? It gives you lots of opportunities to practice, right? Yes. Are we? Okay. It is on, yes? Okay. Looking at Darcy there. He's telling me we're up loud, but I will talk louder. So we are in Advent season, and Advent originates from the Latin word meaning coming or arrival. So in many religious traditions, the focus on Advent is on the birth of Jesus and the second coming of Christ. So in Unity, we see this season as metaphysically as the awakening of the Christ consciousness within each of us. So this viewpoint is then not about us waiting for something outside of us to happen, but instead of preparing the space from within for the divine emergence of our divine nature. In the second week of Advent, we focus on peace, our centeredness in truth. And so in this instance, we're not speaking about world peace, which depends on circumstances coming together just right. We are speaking of Christ peace. It's the unshakable inner stillness that shines regardless of what may be going on around us. And we're called to awaken this peace now, no matter what life looks like. We're not waiting for a someday when conditions improve, when this or that is over, when we've obtained that certain something. It's the awareness that we can live from peace always. So we look to the nativity story as a representation of this living metaphysical journey of the soul. And so take a moment to bring the nativity story to mind. The version you were told as a child, or what you've read from the Bible, just kind of get a feel for the nativity story in your mind. As I thought about this, I was struck with, I think about the journey to Bethlehem and there being no room in the inn, but overwhelmingly for me, the story has always been about the peace of the season, right? We just sang songs about the peace of the journey and the coming. And it's about individuals who received these holy messages and just said yes and went toward what was coming. We have Mary and Joseph traveling, but knowing that this baby is coming into the world of God. We have the shepherds being visited by angels and then seeking out the manger to rejoice in the coming of the Messiah. And there's others who, we hear the songs, we have the poems, they laid eyes and immediately proclaimed this as truth and that the Prince of Peace was here. Yes? This is all sounding familiar? And so we can see, this peace is the acceptance of Jesus' holy birth. We feel the peace and the knowledge that his life would offer so much to so many people. We hear it again in popular Christmas songs, Silent Night, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, O Holy Night, O Little Town of Bethlehem. If we think of those are all very calm songs, right? And they kind of lull us into this sense of peace. However, if we dig a little deeper and we look at what was happening at the time, we're offered an even greater metaphysical message. So ChatGPT and I offer this dramatic version of the story. Soldiers barked orders into the crowded streets as people pushed and shoved, argued and complained. The decree had come suddenly, and everyone must return to their ancestral town for the census. Panic followed. There was no time to prepare. Roads were crowded, inns were overflowed, families were pressed into wagons and caravans, hurriedly packing what they could and leaving what they couldn't. Merchants were shouting, mothers were scolding, tempers snapped like twigs. The whole land seemed to move at once, and in this moment, chaos. Many clutched their shawls tighter as the desert wind whipped at their faces. Joseph said, "We should have left earlier," guiding his donkey across uneven stones. "Why did this decree have to come now?" Mary didn't answer. She was too focused on her breath. The child within her pressed downward, a reminder of a deeper timing, one that was not dictated by Caesar, but by Spirit alone. Nothing was orderly, nothing was peaceful. And yet, Mary exhaled, eyes softening. "There is peace beneath all of this," she whispered. Joseph frowned. "Peace? Now? In this?" "Yes, I can feel it, like a steady heartbeat under the noise." He said nothing, but the words had lodged deep inside him like a seed. If Nazareth had been crowded, Bethlehem was chaos itself. People shoving into inns, pounding on doors, stable boys rushed in every direction. Travelers argued about lost reservations that had never existed. Hot tempers, tired feet, rumbling stomachs, everyone wanted a room, and everyone believed they were more deserving than someone else of that room. Joseph knocked on door after door. "No room, we're full, too crowded, you'll have to find somewhere else." Each refusal hit like a stone. Mary leaned against a donkey, breathing hard, and Joseph felt a little bit of panic tightening his chest. "Oh, not now, not here. This wasn't supposed to be like this." He closed his eyes, and then Mary's hand touched his arm. "Joseph, listen," she said. At first, he heard only shouting. Then beneath it, a tiny, barely perceptible softness, a moment of stillness that seemed entirely out of place, a pause in the world's frenzied rhythm. "It's here," Mary said, "even now, even in this." The stable wasn't what anyone would choose. Animals shifted restlessly, the air smelled of earth and sweat and livestock, but it was quiet. The world outside raged on, shouts, wheels, arguments, footsteps, but here in this rough shelter, a peace grew like the dawn. The child arrived not in calm, but through contractions and pain, not surrounded by angels trumpeting, but by bleating of goats, not welcomed by kings, but by a bewildered carpenter and a young, tired mother. And yet the moment he was born, everything stilled. Not the world. No, the world remained filled with chaos and stress and noise. But within the stable, a presence filled the space, quiet, luminous, and undeniable. Joseph felt it. Mary felt it. Even the animals seemed to sense it. It was peace. Not the absence of chaos, but the presence of God within it. Shepherds arrived breathless from the hills, still shaking from the light that had pierced the night sky. "We followed the star. It led us here," they said. When they saw the child wrapped in swaddling cloth, something softened in them. Their anxiety melted. Their anger faded away. The weight of fear lifted just a little, and hope glimmered in that dim light. The chaos didn't disappear. The world didn't suddenly change. Rome still ruled. Taxes were still owed. The streets were still overflowing with people. But within each person present in that stable, a shift had occurred. A tiny seed of peace had been planted. So how many times have we felt that chaos? What seemed like challenge after challenge being placed in our path? Have you ever tried to find peace after everything calmed down? Are you still working on that? Yeah, right? Maybe you said, "I'll be peaceful once this project is done." Oh, everything will be peaceful once this argument has been resolved. It'll be peaceful when all my bills are paid. I'll feel peace when the holidays are over. And yet, the moment one thing quiets down, something else seems to rise up. Life has never paused itself long enough for us to say, now everything is completely peaceful. But Unity teaches us that peace is not the end of the journey. Peace is the beginning of clarity. So peace isn't happens when everything is finally under control. It's what gives us the wisdom to navigate what is not. Peace isn't the reward at the end of the story. It's the power that carries us through it. So let's think about Mary. She's 9 months pregnant. She's miles from home. She's surrounded by strangers. She's exhausted. And she's being told over and over again, there's no room. There's nowhere for you to have this child. Try somewhere else. And yet, Scripture says nothing about her having a panic attack. I looked, I couldn't find it. Her peace doesn't come from the outer world. Her peace comes from this deeper inner knowing. Something holy is happening here. I don't know how, I don't know where, but I trust it, and I know it at the core of my being. Unity author Eric Butterworth writes, "Peace is not something when everything is still. Peace is the stillness at the center of your soul that you bring to everything." And Mary embodied that. And because she did, she could say with her whole being, "Let it be done through me." Joseph was going through his own spiritual journey as well. He had some doubts, he had concerns. He could have walked away from the entire situation. He could have decided that the journey was too much, but he didn't. In Unity terms, Joseph is the part of us that wants to do everything right, that seeks order, logic, and structure, and nothing about this birth made logical sense. Yet Joseph kept moving towards Bethlehem. He kept saying yes to what he was guided to do because he listened. He really listened to that inner guidance system and heard the voice say, "You're not doing this alone. You're never alone." So peace is born when we stop trying to control the outcome and begin trusting that inner direction and knowing that it's always available. When they finally arrived, there's no room for them. Not in the inn, and not in any guest rooms, not anywhere. And the only place open is a stable, a place that no one would choose. And yet, that humble space became the birthing room of divine peace. So for Unity, our metaphysical stable is our heart space, our inner quiet, where we're open and receptive to consciousness, the place that's untouched by ego or pretense. And when we can enter that space, miracles happen. Spirit finds room to be born in us. Now think of those shepherds. They were startled, frightened, unsure what this message meant. They were just ordinary people doing ordinary work on an ordinary night. And then suddenly, a burst of light in the middle of the darkness. And that's what spiritual awakening often feels like. An unexpected shift, something, an aha, that light bulb goes off and we go, "Oh, wait, I can never unknow what I feel right in this moment or what I know in this moment." It's a moment of clarity, a sudden stillness that says, something holy is happening here. I should go see. I should pay attention. I should listen. We are like the shepherds. We hear that call to peace and we move towards it. When the Christ child was born, did Rome suddenly become peaceful? History tells us no. Did the census end? No. Did the roads suddenly clear? Nope. Did everyone stop arguing? Again, no. The outer world remained the same, but everyone who came near the stable, who heard the story, who truly listened, walked away changed. Peace doesn't depend on the world changing. Peace depends on us remembering who we truly are. Peace begins with us and transforms everything around us. So let's be honest. Many of us are carrying something heavy right now. A decision we're unsure how to make, a relationship in transition, a financial concern, health worries, a part of life that feels like a journey to Bethlehem. It's crowded, it's stressful, it's unclear. And into this, the Advent story speaks. Peace is not the absence of uncertainty, it's the presence of God within it. Mary and Joseph didn't receive peace because everything was suddenly resolved in the snap of a finger. They discovered peace because they trusted something deeper than the circumstances they could see with their eyes. Mary felt peace within her despite not knowing where she would give birth. Joseph found peace because he allowed love to guide him beyond his fear. And the shepherds experienced peace when they looked up beyond their daily survival to see a new light breaking through the darkness. And so can we. When life feels unstable or unclear, we can use our spiritual tools and practices to anchor us into peace. Our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, taught that peace is always present beneath the layers of human worry. And when we pause, even for one breath, we shift from reaction to awareness. An affirmation she liked to use was, "There is a peace in me that nothing can disturb." I can attest to this one after working through this week. So I found myself this week feeling a bit over-obligated by my own doing, I will add. Then life did what life does. Work got busy. People got sick that I was counting on and expecting help from. Things took longer than anticipated, and I started to feel that stress creeping in. And there was a time in my life where that would have been the breaking point. I could see it very clearly this week and thought, oh, wow, this is where I can see growth within my own spiritual journey. Because there was a time that I would have probably snapped at others, not been kind to myself or to those around me. I might have shut down or hidden myself away to cry and lament about, I don't know how I'm going to get this all done, or whatever that looks like. But the grace of Spirit has me on this spiritual growth path for the last several years and had me preparing a talk on peace for the past couple of weeks. So either it was divine timing that I was talking on peace and had these tools right at the front of my brain, or the universe said, let's test it and see if it actually works. But either way, what I felt is, hearing that mantra of Myrtle's, there is a peace in me that nothing can disturb. When that thought came to me as I was having these moments, I would feel in my body that stress rising and think, there is a peace within me that nothing can disturb. And that immediately led to taking a deeper breath, relaxing of the shoulders, the ability to calmly voice my needs to others, to stop and pause and have the clarity to reprioritize my to-do list and figure out what has to happen, what doesn't have to happen, who else can I ask help from, and then to put one foot in front of the other and just do one task at a time. Each and every time that I reached for peace, it was there. The world around me didn't have to change, but it did as I changed my inner state. That's the amazing thing about peace. As we open to the feeling of peace within, we become givers of peace as well. When we speak with gentleness, we become like Bethlehem's quiet stable to those around us, a quiet and safe place within the chaos. As we listen with compassion, we are like those angels announcing the good to be found. When we respond with patience, we're like a beacon of the guiding star, showing others the truth of who we are and who they are in turn. Opening to that Christ peace has a profound impact on how we are able to move and be through the world, and has a lasting impact on those around us in ways seen and unseen. So I'm going to invite you in this moment to join in meditation with me this morning. If you want to gently close your eyes, become comfortable in your seat, take a few deep, cleansing breaths. Imagine yourself standing at the doorway of the Bethlehem stable. You step inside, and the noise of the world softens behind you. The air is warm, and a new light glows in the manger. You know this light is peace. This light is the Christ presence within you. This light says to you, be still, I am here. Rest in that peace. Breathe in its assurance. Allow it to radiate throughout your body. Settling your mind. Softening your heart. Feel the calmness through your whole being. You are the place where peace enters the world. Think on this in the silence. You are the place where peace enters this world. As you feel that to the core of who you are, begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Come back into this present moment. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So as we move out into the world this week, let us remember we are the vessels through which peace enters this world. We are the stable where God's light is born. We are the presence of Christ in uncertain times. A common blessing that I've heard my entire life is peace be with you. And as I thought about this blessing and the return phrase and also with you, it seems a prayer and a reminder for inner peace, for hope, for the assurance of God's presence. And as I thought about it, I thought that still rings a little like a God presence separate from us to me. So today I say to you, peace be you. Remember, divine peace is born in you. You are the center of calm in a seemingly chaotic world. Walk in peace, breathe peace, and share peace. Remember, peace is not found by escaping the world, but by remembering who we are within it. So again, peace be you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and now if our ushers will come forward. This is our time in our service that we can choose to show our infinite gratitude for our many blessings. If you'll join me in the offertory blessing now, together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.